Here we see the feint being performed by an elite player. Note the position of the head, hands and feet. Now let's look at each of the key teaching points for the feint. Run directly towards the opponent. Feint movement to one side by shifting body weight in that direction. Accentuate the feint by dropping the shoulder at that side simultaneously. Quickly change direction by shifting your body weight back and pushing hard off the planted foot. The feint may be further accentuated by showing the ball before pulling the ball back rapidly as you change direction. Accelerate quickly away. This is a basic drill to practice the feint technique. Divide the players into groups of 4. The players form a line approximately 3 to 4 meters apart, the first player facing the others. Player A, with ball in hand, sidesteps each player in turn while walking. Players B, C and D stand still throughout this part of the drill. Once player A reaches the end of the line, all the players move forward and the ball is passed to player B to repeat the drill. Each player in turn moves to the top of the line and repeats the drill. As the players become proficient, introduce jogging to increase the speed of the drill. This is a basic drill to practice the feint technique. Mark out 6 cones 1 to 2 meters apart down the center of a channel. Beginning at one end of the channel, each player in turn feints around each cone. Initially, the players should be encouraged to perform the technique slowly to focus on each of the key points. Over time, as the players become more competent, the pace should be increased, first to a jog and eventually to running speed. This is an intermediate drill to practice the feint technique. Mark out a grid 10 meters by 10 meters using cones. Position 3 defending players within the grid as shown. The remaining players line up outside the grid, each with a ball. Players must enter the grid in turn, approach each of the defending players and then accelerate away. Change the defending players at frequent intervals. Continue the drill for a set period of time. This is an advanced drill to practice the feint technique. Mark out 6 cones, 1 to 2 meters apart down the center of a channel. Divide the players into pairs, 1 attacker and 1 defender. On the whistle, the attacking player moves forward along one side of the cones. The defending player shadows the attacker from the other side of the cones. The attacking player must feint the defending player and accelerate through the cones to the other side. Repeat the drill, introducing a ball. Reverse the roles after a set number of attempts. This is a fun game to develop the sidestep, feint and sidestep and checking techniques. Mark out a grid 15 to 20 metres by 10 metres. Mark a zone approximately 2 metres wide across the centre of the grid. 2 attacking players are positioned at one end of the grid. 1 defending player is positioned in the centre zone. The outer players must run forward together and pass through the centre zone while avoiding the defending player. To pass the defending player, the attackers use the sidestep or feint and sidestep techniques. The defending players use the checking technique to move left and right to block the attacking players. The attacking players begin with a number of lives. They lose 1 life every time they are tagged by the defending player. When an attacking player loses all their lives, they become the defending player. This is a gameplay drill to practice the sidestep and feint and sidestep techniques. It also helps develop defensive skills like checking and the near-hand tackle. Mark out a grid approximately 25 metres by 10 metres wide. Mark 5 equal zones along the length of the grid. Position a defender in the 2nd and 4th zones. In turn, attacking players attempt to get to the far end of the grid without losing possession. The defending players may only challenge the attacking players within their defensive zones. Not transferring weight is a common error when performing the feint. To correct this error, ensure the player feigns movement to one side by shifting their body weight in that direction. Accentuate the feint by dropping the shoulder to the same side. Accelerating away too slowly after changing direction is another common error and may result in the player failing to lose their opponent. To correct this error, encourage the player to concentrate on moving away from their opponent as quickly as possible after changing direction. Showing the ball too early is another error players commit when learning the feint technique. This may allow the opponent to read the intention of the movement and recover quickly. To correct this error, ensure the player is 1 to 2 metres from the opponent before beginning the feint.